Hey, what's going on everyone? My nickname is Sai and welcome back if you're a subscriber. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and check out this game. It's called Battlesphere that I'm working on for quite a few years now. I have few levels. This level is called the target practice, but you're not here to for me to talk about my game. You're here to learn how to destroy targets. And when you destroy a target, you want to see these effects, shatter effects, right? And I'm going to show you how to accomplish this real quick. And I'm going to show you these ornaments. They also shatter, right? But they don't disappear. Now, if you notice, the boxes do disappear, but these ornaments do not disappear because I'm still working on these ornaments. Alright, but I'm going to show you the box part, how to break down the model, and how to import it into the Blender, and how to actually instantiate it as well, which is pretty easy, simple thing to work on. So I'm going to switch to Blender, and I am going to open import OBJ files. I cannot import FBX. I can import FBX, but when I export it under FBX in Unity, for some reason the object is not working for me. So I have to work with the OBJ, right? Because I'm using the Unity 4.7 something version. I haven't updated to 5 version yet because my project doesn't like it for some reason, to be honest. So I'm going to find the box present. It's right here. And I'm going to import it. And I already have quite few selections, and I'm just going to show you real quick how to do this. Look at all these cubes. I have maybe 10 or 15 of them. Whatchamacalled, meshes. So let's say if you worked on your model and you made it into a single mesh, or if you downloaded the model and you wanted to break it down. Let's say you downloaded a bottle, wine bottle, and you wanna, when you shoot it, it breaks, or some box like a crate, and you shoot it or you hit it and it breaks and stuff like that. This is the method that you're gonna be using to break it down in Unity. So right now I'm in the object mode. If you click on the object that you want to break down, let's say I want to break down what do I want to break down? Let's say I want to break down this. No. What do I want to break down? What's big? Whoa. I don't want that. Which part is big? How about this? Real quick. Break it down. Alright. So it's in the, when you select it by right clicking on it, it's in the object mode, right? Switch to edit mode, or you can tab edit mode. If you press tab, it's going to switch to edit mode. Alright, if you press A button, it's going to deselect everything. If you press A button again, it's going to select everything. Now you also want to switch to phase mode. When you switch to phase mode, there's these dots and the squares. If I select A, deselect, see these dots? They show. If I select A, they'll get selected. So I want to deselect everything. Let's say this model or object is big, and you want to select a few of these faces, and you want to separate them from that model. But this is how it's done. Alright, you click on it, right click on it, and if you want to add more to it, you hold shift and right click on the next box. That's it. I mean, you can do it as many as you want. Right now, you know, this box was really split into many pieces, so I'm just going to show you real quick how this is done with these two selected squares. Alright, to separate these two selected squares from the original object, you just have to press P button, and then we have three options. One is to separate it by selection, one is by materials, one is by loose parts. Since I have selected my square boxes, I'm going to separate them by selection. Alright, and that's it. That's all you need. You know, if your model is big, just keep on selecting all these different squares like that, like all these squares, and then press P and then hit selection. Alright, by selection, because you have selected what you want to separate it from the original model. Alright, that's it. It's that simple. In Blender, it's really simple. Now, don't ask me how to texture. There's great videos out there that you can learn from how to implement textures and how to export textures. Now, in OBJ files, you cannot directly export textures into the Blender, into the Unity. You have to manually add that texture after you're done in Blender. Alright, and I'm going to show you that real quick. So all you have to do right now is export this into the Unity. Now, how I export the OBJ files into the Unity is by clicking Files, go on Export, click on Export or select Export, find OBJ. If you're working with the FBX, it's fine, you can select that. It's pretty much the similar options. Alright, so I'm working with the OBJ, and the left bottom corner, right, under the Export OBJ options, make sure to scroll down and find material groups. Alright, these material groups, this is really important. If you want to export your model meshes in separate pieces in Unity, alright, this has to be checkmarked. If you do not want to export your meshes separate, then leave it uncheckmarked. Alright, but in this tutorial, you want to checkmark this. You want to make sure that this is checkmarked so you can export it, all those different pieces. Otherwise, what you're trying to accomplish is not going to work. So make sure this is checkmarked, right? And then export the object. That's it. That's all you need to do. Then switch to Unity. Oh yeah, make sure that you have selected the folder in Unity to export that model. I'm sure if you have worked with the exporting, you know how it's done. You can export it in a different file that is not in Unity and then manually add it to Unity. You know, it works either way. I mean, there's, as I said, there's multiple ways that you can do this, but this is the way that I do it. So my exported object or model is inside the 3D GameObject, inside the assets. So I'm going to find it, which is under presence, and it's here, right here. Alright. Now what I need to do here is make a prefab of this, since I did separate it, made another separation of it. So I don't need the animation, and I don't know which one I have separated. Well, I can do this. Alright, so this is my manually I added this picture into the assets folder, or my 3D game objects, or my presence folder, where I store these models. Now I need to add this texture to it. Otherwise, if I don't add it, it's not going to look good. So this is how I add my texture once I'm done in the Blender texturing. All right, like this, simple as that. All right, I'm just gonna work around it. Add up here, add here, add here. Now I'm using just one picture for whole box. So if you want to know how to texture the model, as I said earlier, there are great, awesome videos out there where I even learned from to how to properly texture your models. All right, just check them out. And why is this one not working for me? Here we go. All right, once you apply textures to your model, all right, find the folder which is prefab. Make sure that this prefab is inside the prefab folder that is called prefabs. All right, because that's where you're gonna instantiate from. Now the subfolders, they can be named whatever, you know, like I have a prefabs folder, and then inside the prefabs I have targets folder. All right, and even in the targets folder I have decorations or ornaments that I showed you earlier how I destroyed them. But and the targets, I have this one prefab that I already made, right? That is scale 18, 18, 18, you know, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. But now that I wanted to show you the process of how this is done, I'm gonna replace this with the new, right, prefab. So I'm gonna replace it with the new prefab. Replace it anyways, and guess what? Now this scale is 1. I mean, x-axis 1, y-axis 1, z-axis 1. Now you're gonna come across an issue when you instantiate these scales, and I'm gonna show you what that issue is, and then I'm gonna fix the scale. Just remember that. Now I'm gonna apply, just, you know, I didn't change anything, but I just do it anyways. And then I'm gonna delete this prefab out of the hierarchy, not from the file, no, just from the hierarchy. I'm going to save the project, and I'm going to go into the scene where I was working on the project, and I'm going to find my targets, Christmas presents. I'm gonna switch to it, and so this is my original model that has only one mesh, which is called default. Alright, there's no other meshes, and this mesh, when I destroy it, alright, I'm going to spawn a Christmas gift, which is in the script. I have attached it, this Christmas gift, right? I just did this, attached to it. I'm going to show you this script, and I'm also going to make the script, the shorter script of this, in the comments, under the video's comments, or not comments, I'm sorry, description. In the video description, I'm gonna make this script, and I'm gonna call it something like destroyed object, or something like that. Alright, so you can just copy and paste it. But before I do that, what I need to do here is just check and see if everything is working properly, which probably is not. Alright, so have in mind that we have to work on the scale, then bring in the prefab into the hierarchy again, select everything, alright, Then we're gonna start adding some stuff to it. We're gonna add mesh collider. I'm gonna add mesh collider. Under mesh collider, make sure that convex is checkmarked. If this convex is not checkmarked, your pieces of the destroyed object will probably stick together, and it's gonna look like they're not separated. They're not, you know, shattering. All right. And then another component we're gonna add, which is gonna be called rigid body. On the rigid body, make sure that to use the gravity and mass. You can play with the mass, but I usually go with the 0.5 or 0.5. All right, that's that. And just hit apply. After you're done editing your prefab, just hit apply. You don't have to replace it again because it is attached to it. See, mesh collider and rigid body, it's there, it's all good. I'm just going to delete this out of the hierarchy, and I'm just going to make sure that all these targets, I'm just going to check and see, yeah, it is directing to the right prefab. Okay, so I'm going to open this script. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Is this, let's see if I can zoom in. Where's the zoom in? I forgot. You zoom in. Alright. All you need for this to work is to have a destroy script, something that destroys after you shoot it or after you hit it with something, you know, on, like, let's say on collision, it gets destroyed, and you know, and then you instantiate. You're destroying one object, and then you're instantiating another object that has multiple pieces to it to make this work. So all you need in this script, that you can call whatever you want. Mine is called target H, and I use this script for all my targets. Alright, so you don't have to worry about, you know, typing the same, you know, okay, I want to make the same, you know, target H, but doesn't make any, you know, but you're gonna implement it into something else that doesn't make any sense, that it's not a target, you know. So make sure you call your script something else, like destroyed object or destroyed on collision or something like that, that you know what that script represents. Alright, so all you need to have in the script is this line of code right here. Alright, you don't have to, actually you do need, if you keep this in on the private, make sure to include this serialized field. Alright, if you keep this in public, on the public, then you don't need this serialized field. Right, GameObject, and then call it something. I called mine DestroyedObjectPrefab. That's that prefab that I showed you earlier, which I'm going to show you again if I know how to switch it. Alright, there's that DestroyedObjectPrefab. That's this prefab right here that I have attached it. I just grabbed it and attached to it. And the second line of code that you need is inside the function that destroys that object, not the prefab, but the object that you're shooting or that you're colliding with. Okay, mine is under this function, which is called TargetDestroyed. Alright, and the only line of code that you need here is either at the beginning of this function or at the end of the function. You'll have to figure out which way works better for you. Is this line of code. This is all you need, is this line of code. The instantiate in parentheses destroyed object prefab, which is this. We're instantiating this prefab, and we're going to instantiate it at transform.position of the game object that has this script attached to it. All right, and then we also gonna transform the rotation, the prefab's rotation to the game object that is attached, that has the script attached to it. If that makes any sense. If it doesn't, just make sure that this line of code is inside your destroyed function, either at the beginning of it or at the end, and that this line of code is included into it. That's it. That's all you need. So simple, like that, right? And then you can test it out. All right, so let's test it out, and I'm going to show you a problem with the scaling. All right, so I'm going to save this. I'm going to go switch to login level. I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to hit target practice. I'm going to spawn in. Let's see, we have 11 seconds before the gate opens. Yeah, please check out this game. This game is pretty cool that I'm working on, and you can learn a lot of things. You can even get inspired by it. So I have these games I showed you before. They're pretty good. Oh no. Yes, no, never mind. It's good. It's good. All right, so there's the box that I worked on. So if I shoot it, oh, look at those small pieces. They're falling, but they're small. The scale is small. Alright, so you probably realize that. Like the original box is scale 1, and this other prefab is also scale 1. It's the same scale as the prefab, but for some reason it doesn't scale. Look at those pieces that are jumping. Look, like they're alive. Look at that. That's so funny. Wow, that is funny and cool. Look, they're like a frog. Huh, that's weird. Alright, so I'm gonna show you how to fix that. So if your scale is off, you'll have to work on it. You'll have to scale it, right, to make it perfect, to make it look like it's the same object that has been destroyed and that has been shattered. So I'm gonna find my prefabs, find my target, and my scale is 111, right? Well, I worked earlier on this, and I know exact scale of this model that needs to be in sync with the original box that is implemented into the game, which is 18. Yours might be different. I mean, your scale might be even too big, you know, when you instantiate it into the game, the object, and it might be like huge, right? So you'll have to scale it down and make sure that it's scaled to that proper level of the object. Okay, so I scaled it to 18. I'm gonna hit save. And also, if you noticed, those pieces, they were not being destroyed, they were just falling or jumping like frogs. So I'm gonna add another script to all this, to this main object, and it's called target collision. Alright, and this target collision, what this does is pretty much just detects the ground, and if the game object hits the ground, it gets destroyed. Alright, that's all. Like, well, you're not here to, you know, learn how to do that. I'm just saying what's gonna happen, you know, with the object. So I'm gonna hit save again. I'm gonna hit play, and hopefully this is gonna work properly. I purposely left that scale at 1 just to show you that these are the things that you're gonna come across that you might, like, your scale might be so small that you might think that you're not even instantiating the object or prefab, alright? And you're gonna be like being all angry and pissed off at me and saying, oh my god, you know, this guy doesn't even know what the hell he's doing because my things are not instantiating. Well, they're instantiating, you just don't see it because they're so small, right? So if I hit the box again, look at that, perfect size, right? But what happened is things did not get destroyed. Well, I have to work on that. Something happened there. It destroys that. Let's do that. Whoa! So each one of these, I have to add that target collision. Is this gonna kill me? Well, get away from me! What? Look at that. That box is huge. All right, where's my ornaments? All right, so that this thing is after me. This thing is after me. What is going on? That is so funny. Look at it, jumping all around. Yeah, so you'll come across these glitches. You come across these things you have to fix. So I know what the issue is, and I'm gonna fix it. But that's how you do it. This is how you destroy things and how things appear as they're shattered. As you can see, there's a chaos going on in this level, which is pretty funny. Alright, so yeah. Whoa, something's underneath me. This thing is freaking still here. Get away from me. You really want? Whoa, did you see that? Shot at me. Is this thing like targeting me or something? What? Alright, that's creepy. But yeah, so check out this game. Come in and check it out. See what you like about this game, and comment below. See what you don't like, and just any comments is welcome. I'm just trying to make this game popular, so in process you get to learn, you get to get inspired, and you get to spread the word, if you could, to your friends, family, or your fans about this game that I'm working on. I hope you learn something from this. Check out the description below on how to the code, the script, which is really small, which is just 2 lines of code that you have to worry about. And what else? Yeah, so that's it. That's all you needed to know about the instantiating prefabs to look like they are being shattered. You do need 2 objects the same. One is with just one mesh, and the other with multiple meshes to make it look like it's the same object that got shattered and that fell apart. Alright, so thanks for watching this video, and always stop by. You'll never know what I have in store for you to watch. And please check out this game, spread the word about this game, because I am working on it. I'm all by myself and I'm doing all these things. It is taking me a long time, but I'm hoping to start some live challenges with this game in the near future. So you will do me a world of favor if you do also hit that like, and if you do subscribe, and make sure if you subscribe to activate that bell button, where when I add new videos or new tutorials or random videos, for you to get notified, and so you can check out and see what I'm up to. Look at all this stuff. It's a chaos. Alright, I'll see you in the next videos. Bye for now.